Good afternoon, it's Wednesday, February 26, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma. On the news this afternoon. Rivers teachers to hold protest over delayed posting. Workers demand involvement in planned Port Harcourt Airport concession. Heavy security SS APC holds NEC meeting in Abuja. Former President Jonathan, others decry political interference on INEC appointment. On the foreign scene, Hamas says deal reached on prisoner release. I'm Ifechuku Moyino with the news. Now, some members claiming to be part of the 1,000 teachers employed by the Rivers State government say they will hold a protest to demand reasons why they are yet to resume work. As you may know, some individuals raised concerns about receiving employment letters from the Rivers State Universal Education Board, but have remained jobless for 2 years. Two persons identified as Ofunda Chris and Blessing Abie, who say they are affected, spoke on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire, clarifying that they are taking a peaceful walk to the government office for discussions.
When we use the word protest in Rivers State, there's this kind of political coloration they give to it. It's a peaceful walk. We want to see the governor, we just walk to the governor. He's our father. We're his children. So we're just, going to see him and telling him about our plight.
That is just the only way that we can have the attention of the government. At least for them to speak to us. Because since then, they have been keeping us on dark. We don't know what is happening. They keep on telling us we should wait. Till how many years?
I think in the mind of the governor, this is a done deal. So we're not going on a violent protest or going to have a face-off with the government. No.
They also alleged that one of their members claimed she was invited by a board chairman who showed her their names had been collated. However, he allegedly threatened that if they continued the protest, he would destroy their document containing their names. Responding, the State Commissioner for Information, Joe Johnson, urged the group not to protest, assuring them that measures were in place to address their concerns.
There's no need for protest. We can still come back as a family and bond. I'm convinced that the chairman of the board will have the opportunity to even appear. They should exercise a little restraint. There's no need for protest because when you protest, you create more bad blood. That's my appeal. There have been several meetings both with the chairman and Dominic Amucha, who is in charge of the postings of teachers, where certain gray areas have been pointed out. To become a civil servant, you must go through biometrics. Have they done that? If they have done, then we are one step into the civil service.
In another development, aviation workers at the Port Harcourt International Airport, Rivers State, held a solidarity march today over an alleged plot by the federal government to concession the airport without their involvement. The workers, under the aegis of the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, ATSAN, and the Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals, ANAP, were seen carrying placards with different inscriptions urging the government to include them in the process. The chairman of ATSAN, Razak Animasheu, said the essence of the procession was to create awareness about the secret proposed concession of the airport and to let the government know that they are not involved. When asked if the government has made the alleged plans known, Mr. Animasheu said that recent visits and activities by the government show that the airport is about to be concessioned. He added that the unions were not against concessions, but against any process that lacked transparency and excluded key stakeholders. Well, away from that, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has acknowledged a letter postponing the PDP South-South Congress. A copy of the letter, which went viral, was seen on the Facebook page of the Chief of Staff to the Rivers State Government House, Edison Ehe. The letter, dated 20th February, was stamped as received at the office of the INEC national chairman on 25th February. The letter was signed by the acting national chairman of the PDP, Umar Damagum, and the national secretary, Sunday Udeokoye. The PDP in the letter said a new date and venue for the South-South Congress will be communicated to INEC once it is finalized. This comes after the PDP, loyal to the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, held a Congress in Calabar, which produced Dan Obi as the zonal chairman. In the meantime, former President Goodluck Jonathan and former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Atahiru Jega, have decried the influence of political interference on the appointment of electoral commissioners. The former president and Professor Jega spoke on Tuesday at a conference organized by pro-democracy and advocacy group Iaga Africa in Abuja. Former President Jonathan said the Electoral Commission must be fully independent and must have credible people. He said political leaders who are so domineering and overpressuring INEC staffers to do what is wrong should resign and leave. On the spot, Professor Jega said there is political interference in the appointment or removal of electoral commissioners and other election officials. He said citizens, civil society organizations, and drivers of change should continue to mobilize effectively for credible elections. Meanwhile, APC leaders converged at the National Secretariat of the party for its National Executive Committee NEC meeting in Abuja today. All roads leading to the venue of the meeting on Blantyre Street have been cordoned off by a combined team of armed security men, including soldiers from the Guards Brigade. Vehicular and human movement on Blantyre Street have also been restricted, just as journalists are kept outside despite the release of an accredited list of reporters this morning by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Felix Moka. The leader of the party, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, and Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas are expected to be in attendance. The NEC meeting comes a day after the National Caucus meeting of the party at the Presidential Villa, also in Abuja. Now, yesterday, President Bola Tinubu hosted the first National Caucus meeting of the APC at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The meeting, the first since he assumed office in May 2023, was held ahead of today's NEC meeting of the party. The meeting was attended by the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, Vice President Kashim Shettima, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, House Speaker Abbas Tajuddin, APC governors, National Working Committee members, and other party leaders. Still to come, Rivers police arrest suspect involved in ATM debit card swap. Stay with us.
To thrive in a fast-changing world.
Tune in to 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Okay, now the rest of the news. Rivers State Police Command says its operatives have arrested a female suspect allegedly involved in an automated teller machine debit card swap worth over 500,000 naira in Port Harcourt. The command spokesperson Grace Iringikoko, in a statement in Port Harcourt on Tuesday, identified the suspect as 35-year-old Blessing Daberechi Oleru. SP Iringikoko said her arrest followed a report by the victim. Now, Rivers State Governor Similai Fubara says his government will immortalize late elder statesman Edwin Clark if he is not immortalized. Governor Fubara said this when he led a delegation from the state on a condolence visit to the late Edwin Clark's home in Abuja. Governor Fubara said the late Edwin Clark was not just a South-South leader, but a man who occupied a strategic place in national history. While welcoming Governor Fubara and his entourage, the son of late Edwin Clark, Abikeme Clark, expressed gratitude to the governor and members of the delegation for the support and visit. Edwin Clark died on the 17th of February 2025 at 97 years. A former Edo State Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, says the seat arrangement role between Senators Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and Godswill Akpabio should not be reduced to a gender affair. Mr. Shaibu, who spoke on Channels Television today, said seats and offices of federal lawmakers are privileges and not rights. According to him, seats and offices must be lobbied for by federal lawmakers. On February 20th, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, who represents Kogi Central Senatorial District, rejected her assigned seat in the Red Chamber and challenged the Senate President's order. In business, the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Ways and Means Advance has accused the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, of frustrating its investigation into the 30 trillion naira Ways and Means Advance and the Anchor Borrowers Program under former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. The committee made the accusation after receiving an interim report from its consultant at a meeting where they expressed frustration over the bank's failure to provide crucial documents required for the probe. The committee, which was inaugurated a year ago, said the delay has significantly stalled progress on the investigation. Chairman of the committee, Senator Issa Jibrin, criticized the CBN for withholding vital information despite multiple requests revealing major infractions with the preliminary report of the CBN. In entertainment, the father of late Nigerian singer Mohbad Aloba has caused a stir after expressing his displeasure with the fact that his late son bought plots of land in his son's name. A clip from Mr. Aloba's TikTok live session went viral on social media where he openly questions his late son's decision. In sport, Liverpool manager Arne Slot has been given a 2-match touchline ban due to his actions following their 2-2 draw away to Everton earlier this month.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Hamas says it has reached a deal with mediators on the release of the 620 Palestinian prisoners and detainees who were due to be freed by Israel last week. Israel had delayed the release of 600 Palestinian prisoners on Saturday in protest at what it said was a crucial treatment of Israeli hostages being handed over by Hamas. Hamas said this was a serious violation of the deal. It is now expected that the prisoners will be freed, as well as another batch, in exchange for the return of the bodies of 4 hostages. Stories. Some Rivers teachers say they will hold a protest over their delayed posting. Some workers are demanding involvement in a planned Port Harcourt Airport concession. There is heavy security as the APC holds her NEC meeting in Abuja. Former President Jonathan and others have decried the political interference on INEC appointment. On the foreign scene, Hamas says a deal has been reached on prisoner release. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.